Hi all, welcome back to the basics of React. I'm Anantha Krishnan from Devalgo. Let's start. We'll be using Visual Studio Code for this tutorial, and as I mentioned earlier, we have created the project using npx create react app. As of now, the project is created. Now just before going doing the development, we have to understand what are the things the node has downloaded for us in the project structure. So basically we will just check what are the contents available in this project. Okay, so first of all, you may have observed that there is a folder called node modules. So in this node module, there will be a collection of libraries which will support during our the project creation. So that's one thing, and there are various several libraries that we can import and use during the development stage. We will have almost most of the important libraries there. If anything we have to down add further, it will automatically download the dependency, the working for that thing. Next thing is we have public folder. In public folder we will use to store several assets. You can store images, and there is one critical file here in this public, that is index.html. Okay, when the React project app is loaded or our project is started, the first thing to load is this index.html. Okay, file that should be understood during the react.js development. This is the index.html file. So as you can see, we can define the icon, we can change the description, those things. So, and one thing you should observe is the tag div id equal to root. So whatever projects we are creating, it's embedded inside into this div tag. So you can see, and there are various other image files that's actually necessary for React. First, during the Hello World program of the React project, and next thing is source folder. The source folder is the one of the most critical folder of this project, React projects. Whatever components or whatever parts of the web page we create, we just create inside the source folder, so that when we will start the project, the node will scan the files inside the source. More file, that is package.json. As I told, React.js is a UI library. So as I earlier discussed, the node modules will download the necessary libraries to create the React app. React. And there are then other things like React DOM and React scripts. So mostly we in our tutorials we will be focusing on React library only. React DOM is used to actually React DOM is actually used to mount the components one by one, or the parts of the web pages one by one, and it's not usually imported in development time. As of basically we will not use those things. And React script is used to initiate the project, like as you can see, when you type the npm start command, actually this command run is React scripts a node React scripts start. So these React scripts are necessary to run the React project. So that's all for now. Now one more thing I have to focus is the source folder. In source folder, as you have seen, there are several other files. So we have and that thing also, the first thing that's loaded is index.js. So as you can see, the React DOM is only used in this index.js to render the component. And remain, as you can see, there are several folders, several files, and one of the critical one of the first file to load after index.html is index.js. So as I have introduced, we will import the necessary libraries to run the project, and mostly in to create other commands we only need the React library, and if some CSS is required, then we can import those things, and the React DOM will render the our application. So that's why React DOM was imported here, and in further components we may not include this library for use. Okay, so that's one thing. Now as you can see, this app is mentioned. What is meant by app is a component, and where this component is defined, as you can see, import app from app. So app means basically that app.js. So as you can see, the function name is app. So actually this component is loaded during the initialization time. So that's all for now. Hmm. So as of now, we have some basic idea of the project structure, and I know I have wasted so much of time just talking and not doing anything, but it's actually very critical or very important for you guys to understand the project structure. Otherwise, you may only face the issue during the development. So you should understand what all files are used for what all purposes and those things. So now comes a fun part. Now we'll just go to the coding as section activity, and we will just delete the unnecessary files. Now, first of all, as I mentioned, I have to just introduce one more point to use that. As I mentioned, index.html has a div tag and called root, as I will highlight here. Yeah, div tag called root. And why I mentioned that it's important, because as you can see, the index.js, the first file to load, is writing over inserting our app component inside the that div tag. And how that's done, that's defined by this document.get element id root. And this is also same used in the JavaScript also to overwrite anything inside the DOM element. So that's one thing. Yeah, you should never touch these things. Mostly it will be better if you don't even touch the index.js. That will be good. But as I said, there are some unnecessary things that come with the React project, and that's why you guys will have some difficulty to understand the things what they have introduced. Like there, as you can see, there is service sector, and why it is used, where it is used. There will be confusion, and if you go to online also, they will just give the same code what we have in the create React app, and then also you will not able to figure out why these things are mentioned. So now what we'll do, we'll just start from scratch. We'll delete all the codes and we'll just do the necessary things. So let's start. So first step, we will go, as I said, mentioned, the first file to load is index.js. So let's go to the index.js. Okay, I will close other files. Okay, let's focus on index.js. So let's go one by one. Import React from React, that's required. React DOM is required because React DOM only renders the component. Yeah, I will not use indexes here because we have to link from scratch. I don't want any styles. So app, let me remove this also. Service.worker is basically for caching the service.worker is basically for a progressive web application that helps to cache the CSS, JavaScript, images, those things, so that the application will be available offline also. So we are not going for that approach. We'll just delete this. So I'm deleting that thing. And as I will just remove this line also. So Um, so I have removed all the unnecessary code, and the final output is like this. And I'll just delete the unnecessary files that are not used here. Okay, so I'm not doing any testing, just delete. Service worker.js not required. Logo svg not required. Index.js let it be, it's required, so let it be. And I'm not using any css file, remove. App.test file not required, delete. App.js file, if you can, if it's required you can keep it, otherwise it's better I will just delete it also. So only and css file is also not okay, I will just delete it. So finally what we need, only index.js. Okay, now what we'll do, we will just create a folder named components. So what are components? So as you can see, we have reached the final stage of our deletion. Like I have deleted unnecessary lines and unnecessary files required. And moving forward, we need to properly format the code structure, and that will be helpful for readability. So I am installing here a extension called Prettier, and I like this extension so much. Its code formatting ability is very good than normal formatting methods, especially for JavaScript projects. So I'll be using that one. So and if you want to check the configuration, you are formatting with right tool, just select the option of format document with, and there will be option of configure default formatter, and go there and select the prettier code format. So by that you have set up the formatting, and this step is actually optional, but it's good for readability. So that's done. Now let's create our components. So first of all I will just create a component folder. So I will just create a components folder, and I'll in the component folder you can do directly from here. I will do like that, fruit app dot jsx, and the Visual Studio will automatically create the directory. So JS6, actually what is does JS6 means? JS6 actually means actually JS6 is actually a syntax used by the React. So if you go to their website, you can see it's actually not a program, it's actually a syntax that the React expects to get. So what React does, instead of directly putting HTML, it expects a JSX. That's the combination of HTML and JavaScript. Okay, that's all. And now let's move on to the development stage. So what all things we require? So first of all, I will import some import React library, so React, and I would require a component. So component from React. So this thing is required for every component files. So I'll save it. Now what we require, you can include CSS. As of now I am skipping that step. Now let's create a component. So how can we create the component? There are two approaches. You can do a class based or a functional based. So as of now we'll go concentrate on class based, because that's more beginner friendly, and most of you guys have some C++, Java, or some object related concept familiarity. So it will be better if you can go for class based approach as a beginner, but later on you should most switch on to the functional based approach, because that's more readable, shorter syntax, and mostly that approach is used nowadays. So first of all, class based approach. So I will create a class of fruit app which extends the component. So this is how you create a React component. and we may require a constructor that we'll do later. And most of the important method it's required is you should implement a render method so that you can return a component. So what it expect render method expects a JSX expression. So I'll just type some random HTML tag. So I'll just type div/div. Let the name hello fruit app. Oops, spelling mistake. So I'll just give hello I am fruit app. So that's funny. Render is done. Okay, so is that enough? Actually no, you should do something that this class should be accessible to other file also. So how can we do that? We have to do export. So we have to export the fruit app and export fruit app, and it will be good if you can declare a export default fruit app. So that's done. So with that I think almost the component file structuring is done. So this is a common structure will that's used for creating common. You need to import the react and component. Yeah, as you may observe, like we have used command but we have not used any react class. So why is like that? If you don't import this react, actually what happens if you don't import this react, the application will not run. Just check. I am just giving it as an assignment. Just try yourself. Now next thing, is that enough? No, 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 it's not enough. We have to get that component inside the index.js. So how can we do that? I will just give the name of the command fruit tag and I will just close the component. So declaration is done. So let's see the output. As you can see, the link will be http localhost 3000. So let's check my Google. So I will just paste it. Yeah, we are getting an output. I think you may not be able to. I will just zoom out the screen. So zooming out. So as you can see, we have got the output as hello I am fruit. So let's check the working of this application. So if I inspect it little, as I said, the component is inserted into the div id root tag. So this is the basic working of the react. So whatever contents we are commands we are keeping, it will get inserted into as children. It's the this div id roots children, like it's like a tree structure. Children will increase and increase as the number of commands we increase. So that's one thing. So but tutorial we have understand what are the files that are created, or what are the files or the folders that are created during the project creation of react projects, and what are the main core files that are required for the development. We have also went through some things like JSX components. We have just touched the tip of the iceberg concepts. I think as of now that's enough for you. Like we were able to create at least one application in React. That's a Hello World application. Uh, so just understand about the concept as of now. Now next approach we will be developing an app similar to the what we thought of. Like we will go learn about how to divide various components, how to combine those components, how to style each component, like those stuffs. So as of now we can pause for now. Do like, subscribe and share the Devalgo channel. So until then, bye bye. Happy coding.